Hi, the French defense is known for being solid, but today we shatter it. I have analyzed 7 brutal traps for white that carry massive 86% win rate. E4, E6, then D4, D5, a solid French starting. Knight C3, central pawn exchange done. Here you're to capture the E4 pawn in order to control the F6 square. Bishop to D7. Next you develop knight to F3. They go bishop C6. And you go bishop D3. When you see a knight F6 move, immediately pick F6. Your trap, queen captures F6. Bishop G5 is your brutal magical move. Black queen has no escape. Bishop captures on F6 to counter your queen attack. Queen to D2 is your way out. Even highly rated players go for the D4 pawn capture with the queen. Then create more confusion with bishop B5 check. Block with bishop C6 move. And smilingly you capture queen on D4 square. Black bishop takes on the white bishop. And finally checkmate on square D8 in the 12th move only. Next. Trap 2 gives black headaches after E4, E6, D4 and D5. You play the E5 pawn push. Pawn C5. You ignore C5 and slide your queen to G4 square. Here you fly your knight to the F3 square. D4 taken, you ignore and play bishop to the D3 square. You castle short. Bishop D7. Pawn G6. Your pawn to H4. Pawn to H5. Then your queen attacks G6. Trap set after queen sacrifice on G6 square. Nothing black can do. Bishop G6 check. Black king runs to the E7 and you deliver fantastic checkmate with bishop on G5. If they block with their knight on F3, then capture it with the bishop and give a checkmate. Next, you start with the E4 pawn push. E6, the French defense. You play the D4 pawn. They play the D5 pawn. Knight C3. No worries after the pin on B4. Then fly your knight to the E2 square. Center pawn exchanges done. A3 greeting the bishop. Black's bishop captures on C3, then you recapture with your knight. Knight F6. Inviting your pin with bishop on the G5 square. Knight to C6 invites another pin with your bishop on the B5 square. When black castles, you then capture the knight. Next you focus on taking the E4 pawn. Queen to D5. Knight captures on F6 with a check, then G7 takes on your knight. Bishop captures the strategic F6 square. Queen takes on G2. Then your queen reflects their queen to F2, so rook G1 delivers fantastic checkmate. Next clip. This rare variation has a queen placed on the square A4. It was made popular by chess master Steiner in 1929. E4 pawn played. E6 pawn pushed. C4 pawn, which later captures on D5. E pawn captures on D5. Queen to the Steiner queen. Bishop blocks. Queen to B3. E4 pawn taken. Bishop C4 attacking F7 pawn. Queen to E7 giving protection to F7, then later queen captures the B7 pawn. Bishop C6. Place your queen to C8 giving a check. They have no way out but to play their queen back to D8. Bishop captures and it's F7. King to the E7 square is their best play. And a fantastic checkmate on square E6. Next clip. Welcome to the Schlechter variation trap, also called the Schlechter poisonous line. We have the French defense after E6 but with a small twist in it. After your rolling of the bishop to square D3, They naturally jump knight to square f6. Here you go for the kicking of the knight with the e5 pawn advance. They scramble to d7, letting open your queen and bishop diagonals. You fly the knight to square f3, targeting the g5 outpost. c5 is ignored and you settle for g5 knight flight. h6 pawn gives you a smile, and delivering a shattering knight sack on e6. They pick you knight, weakening further their kingside. Queen h5. Their king is exiled to the e7 village. Even blindfoldedly, just check with the queen to square h4. Now shattering the king in its own private prison. Next clip, we slide pawn to e4 and watch them play pawn to e6, then we press pawn to d4 and they counterplay to d5. My dismantlers, let's have the knight fly to c3, so as we can cutely dismantle the center. Your pawn e4 captured. Your knight recaptures the e4 pawn. Bishop to d7, the cracked lazy defense. Your knight flies to the f3 square. Cracked lazy bishop to c3. Knight to g5 outpost for coffee. They go to h6. Your knight shattering the f7 square. Opening holes. The cracked lazy king captures your poisoned knight. Time for dismantling with your knight on e5 outpost. By offering them an fork to the cracked lazy bishop. The cracked lazy king runs home to e8. Your kind takes on h5 and offers check to the cracked lazy king. G6 is eaten live and queen checks again with a smile. King to d7 pursued by your queen on f7 for check. King exiled to the d6 square. Your knight does the needful to the c4 square, offering a kinder check. Black king exiled to the d5 village. Queen moves to the f3 square for a check. And a shattering checkmate. Next clip. Welcome to the Rubinstein variation trap. Here, we shall see what happens if black does an early capture on square e4. After knight c4, black does the needful e4 capture. We recapture with our knight. Bishop d6. Then we position our bishop to square d3. Knight to square e7. We add a bishop to g6, creating a pin. They castle short to the half under attack. Check knight on f6. g7 pawn captures on f6. Bishop takes on f6. Queen unpins itself. Check the Greek gift opens king side. King captures on h7 and check. King to g8. And we deliver a brutal checkmate.